Oh, Recharge is definitely one of my favorite maps in Halo, to be honest with you. And it all comes down to the angles. You're able to take those positions on the map. You're able to take that top glass position or that catwalk position, and the amount of cross shot that you can put in, the amount of damage those anchors can apply to the other team, really just give you that edge.
So, you're a camper.
Essentially, right. Yeah. When you're on mouse and keyboard, you kind of have to camp because you can't win your 1v1s.
Yeah.
So if you sit back, right, because you can't aim. If you sit back, you got to take an advantage where you can get it, Tony. You know what I mean?
I will say, when it comes to mouse and keyboard, I would love to hit this cross-smash shot, stay alive. You got that complete control of your of the mobility. My sensitivity, I play on pretty low sense, so I'm not going to be able to move as much as you. But luckily, these guys, when it comes to an anchor on top glass, you cannot get them out. From Cloud9 or SSG, they know how to control the map. They have an advanced understanding on how to play Recharge. My only thing is, when the camo's coming up, are you going to stay glass side? Where do you have to be positioned when the active camo comes up?
You got to be positioned on that C plat. The glass is good as well, though, but C plat is where you have the most eyes and the most value out of your position. You can escape through long haul, or you can escape through into tower. Regardless, you have an escape plan, which is very important in Halo. I'm sure you would agree. So I think that's a definite big position if you're getting camo.
Almost just as important as this matchup on swing, tapping buttons. We know them over in North America. You know, back in Halo 5, Evil Geniuses, they spotted them out, stole them up, brought them to North America. And let me tell you, alongside Falcated and Roy and Lunchbox, you know, they're kind of good. They are
all right.
We saw tapping buttons find so much success alongside Evil Geniuses. Meanwhile, Eco, tell me a little about Eco.
Eco has stepped up in the Slay department. With Renegade leaving this roster, there were some big shoes to fill. I call them clown shoes. Renegade's not a clown, but he has some clown shoes to fill. And honestly, Bound is a great player, but he can't fill those shoes fully. So you need Eco to back you up, and Eco has done just that in the Slays department.
I talk about it often. My favorite players are ones that not only are able to be that IGL, be that in-game leader, but also able to slay on top of it. Like if you're able to put down damage, guide the troops as well, but still being effective on the map, you're instantly one of my favorites. And when I think about that, I think of like the likes of like the Snake Bites, even the Frosties, KotH over on Sentinels. I think of Ryan Noobs. I think of plenty of players that have found success, and that includes Eco. Watch out for Eco, but hold on. I'm getting word. My producer Clayton's in my ear. He says game number 1 is ready. You said you wanted to see some Recharge, Tim. Here we are.
Recharge is the map, and honestly, I talked to Coach Nugget, who is now going to be in this game right here, replacing Pelu. And you know what he told me? They're hungry. They want this victory. They want to bring a championship to LATAM, and they want to do it today. But you've got a big mountain to climb with Cloud9.
They're hungry. We're going to find out if Cloud9 is on the menu. The question now becomes, are you the one who's going to eat, or are you going to get eaten up? Cloud9 going up against Spacestation Gaming. Tell me about your keys to success.
I'm going to focus on tapping buttons. His individual skill, his ability to win those 1v1s, to win those low percentage fights is going to be pivotal in this game. But right off the bat, we've got StelluR. You call him the silent assassin. I agree with you. Let's see if he can assassinate some players.
Tapping buttons, though, getting tapped, taken down. Pznguin somehow ends up getting away with that camouflage. Now you're going to see that early trip cap going in favor of Cloud9, and they're going to use it to pressure Spacestation Gaming. They know SSG is spawning toward the A side. It's only a matter of time before they push them out.
On top of that, they knew the spawns were coming out onto A, right? They had a player position on glass. They were able to capitalize on the push to B and still maintain this double cap. Very big by Cloud9, but look, they go 3 down.
Spacestation Gaming coming right back now, forcing Cloud9 on their back foot. They will not back down, especially Nugget with the shock rifle, but the nades are raining down. And StelluR, the silent assassin, getting right behind enemy lines. Looks like him and Bound are going to work a little bit of a 1-2 combo. There should be a 1v1 between tapping buttons, but he's crossing the street without looking both ways. Somehow finds a kill. Looks like StelluR going to put him down, and just like that, SSG get wiped.
Tapping buttons, crossing the street, runs over a cone, and unfortunately, he gets collapsed on. He's going to go down early, but Drift on this top tower position can really influence the spawns here on A. His entire team is stuck on C, but he's got a flank going on right now.
Drift pushing up, going around the corner. The nade starts to fly, trying to get that opening damage, but you're in a 1v2. There's only so much you can do by yourself. Drift ends up going down, and so do half the members of Spacestation Gaming. Nugget, get out of here.
Talked to Coach Nugget, and he said, Drift, you gotta look for his positioning knowledge. It's very high in terms of skill. He knows where to position. He knows the times to do so. You saw it right there. Let's see if we can continue seeing that in this game.
Double push on SSG. Love the bait and switch, and I love the ability to keep your teammate alive. But for how long? Because eventually you go 3 down. Cloud9 is still hunting you down. Camouflage being fought over towards the mid-map, and StelluR taking height in the most important position on the map. You said so yourself.
Yep, and guess what? Not only the most important position on the map, but the fact that he has the shock rifle to couple along with it. This is going to be huge for him. If he can play his life, he will definitely be able to influence these spawns and influence the slays on Spacestation Gaming.
So he's sitting up high with the shock rifle.
Right.
Pznguin now gets away with the camouflage. All of the resources now starting to be absorbed by Cloud9. SSG, you better be careful. You might end up in the clouds.
And you see that, right? The resources are being utilized. 115 to 16 is the scoreline right now. Cloud9 are absolutely decimating the Spacestation Gaming roster. And they're gonna need an answer. Spacestation needs to answer now.
This is a dominant performance. It's the same thing we saw when we saw FaZe versus Sen. Same thing we see with me versus you. You're not in the game. If you were SSG as of right now, Cloud9 are dominating, and I'm loving every bit on board with Bound. It looks to push control.
We're gonna have to 1v1 at some point, Tony. I'm sick of the trash talk. But what I'm not sick of is Cloud9's performance on land. A lot of people are doubting this roster. Right now is the time where they're showing that they're talented and they belong in that championship series.
Spacestation finds himself 3 down once again. Atzo somehow able to take Alpha by himself, so good for him to allow his teammates to come off a spawn. The problem is, again, when you're in the trip cap and you capture A, you're just putting a beacon on your head. Cloud9 know where you're at.
Gotta talk about Atzo. The high Halo IQ out of this man, the objective mind. Objective is what they need right now. They're trailing by a ton of points. It's gonna take a miracle at this point. Cloud9 has found the timing, but Bound has also found the slays. 12 and 6 to start this game.
And it's funny because with the objective looking so dominant, obviously Cloud9 are winning the slays department. However, it's not that, it's the objective efficiency for me when it comes to Cloud9. It's the ability to slow the game down and speed it up at a given moment. You talked about Eco, you talked about the IGL, also one of the leading slayers. 9 kills, 7 assists, that's my IGL right there.
Eco is incredible. He stepped up as a leader and a slayer like we talked about. And honestly, guess who said he's the smartest player in the game? The man himself, Frosty. So we're gonna focus on Eco right now. We're gonna see if he's capable of holding these slays and continuing this dominance. Once again, they have a momentary triple cap, but look, an answer back from SSG on C.
I mean, how much of an answer is it though? You're 3 down. How much? I mean, Tappy Buds, you're able to still see, but what happens? You simply get out-rotated. You cannot play against Cloud9's objective efficiency and be playing a man down. You have to find a way to get the kills, and I guess it's easier said than done. I'm back here. They're in the game.
Absolutely. That's why we're here, Tony. That's why we're standing here, and they're sitting down over there. Nugget on your screen, the player we talked about, gets a double kill. That's the coach, Tony. He's making plays happen, but is it enough? Right now, Cloud9 are answering back on C, and that's in an instant. SSG are just not able to get any time.
I toss papers, Nugget tosses the clipboard. He said, let me sit down and show you how it's done. Nugget, 9 and 11, 3 assists to go along with it. Bound, going to clear away the Bravo side. Looking to stay alive, you have Nugget in your sights. And now the spawners are coming into A side, but a shock rifle out of nowhere. Cloud9 were ready to collapse, but what a play out of Tapping Buds with the shock rifle, absolutely shredding C9.
This is what Tapping Button needs to do. There was a reason why EG picked him up on Halo 5. Evil Genius is one of the top orgs, right? They picked him up because he's got that individual talent. He's got to be able to utilize that and completely outslay this Cloud9 roster. And honestly, he's got the tool to do so in his hands right now.
The man was making plays, and once again, Cloud9 are going to find themselves 4 down. SSG finding new life here. You got yourself a double cap. I will say, it's a mountain to climb. You're down 41 to 218. The SSG have enough in them.
At this point, you just got to stop the bleeding, right? Down in this game, potentially, it's a couple more pushes from Cloud9, and you will go down, but trying to make this a little bit closer, getting that momentum and driving that into the second game is the most important thing.
And when looking to move forward, looking to stop the momentum. The SSG already started to gain, but the shock rifle keeps coming into play, and Cloud9 keep dropping like flies. Keep feeding that shock rifle to tapping buttons. The man is tapping heads.
And now we got a triple cap potential here, but Cloud9 get on beat really quick. Tapping buttons is making the plays necessary. I talked about it, 16 and 12. He's starting to slay out, and this is incredible out of him. If he can continue this pressure, it'll be incredible. They can make a comeback here.
We finally have tapping buttons on the screen. This man is dominating. He's on a killing frenzy. You've been seeing the kill feed, and now you're seeing it in action. This man is 18 kills for a reason. Cloud9 haven't found an answer.
He can't do it alone, though. He needs everyone to rally around him. The slays are good, but Drift holding this top control, this top glass area can be huge. You see the double push from Nugget. They've got to get some slays once again. They get one on Cloud9. Now's their chance to push in.
Tapping buttons has absolutely been lights out. Cloud9 once again find himself 3 down, and the shock rifle now stays in the hands of Spacestation Gaming. Line it up just so you can drop them down. My only problem is SSG have been playing through tapping buttons. He needs someone else to step up.
Agreed. Atzo having a little bit of a rough game here, 7 and 15. He's got another level to him. Oh my word, Drift. It's a big kill on the Pznguin, but 2 are down for SSG, so nothing will come of it.
Active camouflage coming up. Nugget wants to get a hold of the Charlie side, but the same way that you can get sniped on other teams, you can get sniped right back. And once it gets typed, does this man spawn with the shock rifle? The man has 20 kills, 16 of them are with the shock rifle.
Yeah, and bound though. Take a look at this. He's got that camo. See, was Spacestation Gaming's cap, but honestly, Cloud9 had out-rotated them. Right now, they're going for some sneaky caps on A and B. They got both of those, but look, Cloud9 only need 12 more seconds to win this game.
SSG, you're holding on to the double cap. Cloud9 are so close to grabbing a hold of that 12 seconds here. You have to do everything you can to slow them down. Bound, not able to get as much value out of the camouflage, but he still finds himself over towards the A side, but now pushed out as tapping button adds his 54th shock rifle kill. It seems like another CA setup now coming in. SSG getting more and more points.
Cloud9, one more punch. Tapping buttons! Another double kill out of him. 140 to 238. Tapping buttons is on fire. 24 and 15. If he can continue this in the slays department, this could potentially turn into a victory for Spacestation Gaming, and it will be a very important one.
I need to see the power weapon kills out of tapping buttons. This man so far is the best shock rifle player that I have seen. We've seen some crazy players, the Renegades, the Spartans, even the Bounds, and as of right now, tapping buttons is commanding the shock rifle and putting it to work. Latin America's finest, but finally it's Cloud9 who were able to get the trip cap that they were looking for. Despite the fact that tapping buttons was absolutely going off, it's a team game. Cloud9 show you that.
That's all they needed. Cloud9 needed one more break to finish out that game, and they got it. But I got to talk about the mental coming out of SSG, right? It's very important that they took that game and were starting to come back. They started to get that energy, that fire, and what they're going to do is they got to take that game and move it on to the next one. They got to take that momentum and move it forward.
Tapping buttons is God. Are you kidding me? Like on the kill feed, tapping button is just putting work, but head after head, perfect kill after perfect kill. The man dropped a killing frenzy. How do you lose that? How do you, like when you have a player going that far off? How do you lose? Tapping buttons. Welcome back to NA.
Absolutely incredible. I wanted to shake you, Tony. You were in shock right there for a second. I want to be like, Tony, wake up, because to be honest, I was in shock too. A killing frenzy against one of the best teams in the world. I mean, there's a reason he got picked up by NA before. This man's a legend. Look at right there, 25 and 16 coming out of tapping buttons. But on the side of Cloud9, they didn't have anyone that really popped off. But like you said, it's all about that teamwork.
It's the teamwork and the objective efficiency that Cloud9 consistently come with. Even if you're winning in the slays department, it doesn't matter. They're out-rotating you. They're staying alive. They're playing for each other. And the coordination that they come with you, when they're rolling, that momentum is too tough to stop. Cloud9 showed that, like we said, it's an ultimate team game. And when it comes to objective efficiency, there might be no better than C9.
The problem is, you make a whole bunch of mistakes, the mistakes start to stack up, right? And there's only so much you can do to potentially diminish those mistakes and win the game. but unfortunately, they made too many mistakes early. That is Spacestation Gaming, and they weren't able to recover. If they had played like they did at the very end of that game, in the beginning, we could have saw a different outcome here, but we're moving on to StelluR Aquarius for game number 2.
And the sad part is for SSG is that I've played this map probably thousands of times. I haven't seen one shockwipe. So I think Spacestation and Tapping Buns are a little bit of trouble here, but I'm saying for real though, Tapping Buns can have any type of game like he did towards that second half of that game number 1. I think SSG could actually win a game here. I think they could tie up the series, and then we'll go to Catalyst CTF. Who knows what happens from there?
Yeah, we know, like we said, Cloud9, a little bit weaker in terms of not having Renegade on the squad, but I've talked about it time and time again. Bound, much better player on land. And he was starting to perform in that game number 1 as well. We saw that. He's able to perform at a level that basically Renegade was as well. His team kind of plays around him is the big thing. They can get into that flow. Cloud9 close out this series, but again, SSG got to build off that momentum from that very last game.
Like we talked about before, you're talking about the back-to-back LAN champions in Cloud9. They know what it takes to succeed, and now it's more about execution from them. But don't forget about LATM's finest, Latin America's finest, being Spacestation Gaming. Nugget clearly showing that he can hold his own, and so did Tapping Buttons.
That's the storyline. Nugget, what a great job by him. He was the coach coming into the game, sitting down next to his squad, brings his veteran knowledge. Such an essential thing, but we go on to game number 2. This is a must-win for SSG. They brought that last game close towards the end. They've got to not make any mistakes here at the very start.
Camouflage, dynamo grenades, don't forget about the thrusters. These are all going to be in play. Everyone fighting for that control. It's Spacestation Gaming going up against Cloud9. SSG prioritized the dynamo grenades. It might have worked.
Yeah, dynamo grenades are so huge. They come up every 30 seconds. You're able to utilize those to get positioning on the map and to take people off positioning. But Eco with the first camo in hand, a 3 dead momentarily for Spacestation Gaming. Cloud9 looking to take advantage and get this positioning control.
Eco finds himself a kill with that camouflage and able to get out of that situation. So as of right now, Eco's alive. Comes right back in, able to get the slay he's looking for. Right back to the dynamo grenades. Car side control going in favor of Cloud9, and we know how important that control is.
Car side control is so important. And you see the spawns from Spacestation Gaming in the base. Cloud9 are trying to take advantage of that, but I really love Eco getting the entire value out of his camo. He doesn't go down early. He's able to provide the damage and make sure that his team can capitalize off of it.
My key word for this series is value.
I love that.
Cloud9 doing nothing but making valuable plays when it comes to defensive efficiency, and now that's carrying over into StelluR, but SSG not out of it yet. Only down by 2 kills. Pznguin looks to make it 3, but hold on, a big trade coming out of SSG, and another battle. SSG now getting the numbers they're looking for until Nugget goes down.
We talked about Eco, right? Eco filling those slaying shoes. He's doing just that in this game. 4-1 so far. But Atzo, a player who I think had a little bit of a rough game last game. We'll see if he's able to step it up as Cloud9 go 4 down.
SSG gaining the map control you were looking for. Holding on to top P and top car at the same time. The back shots are coming in. Nugget wasn't ready for it. Active camouflage coming up. SSG want to hold on to this 50% map control.
Tie game. Cloud9 get 1 ahead. That's 2 down for Spacestation Gaming. You're going to see them collapse now. Atzo's the last player alive. His job is to do it the best he can to potentially get a trade or get this camo, but they get a couple down. Camo's still up top.
Atzo does a great job of not grabbing the camouflage, but buying time, so this way his teammates come off a spawn and shred him. But it's still Cloud9 to end up with that camo back to back so far for Eco. You already have a 2-kill lead, and with this camouflage, you can make it more. Atzo ends up going down. Cloud9 slows it down. Regain coming in soon, and of course, Eco getting yet another one.
Again, Eco with the second camo of the game, already getting massive value out of it. You see, he's only going for those 100% kills. That's how you gotta play as a camo player.
My problem is, though, Eco's goosing right now. He ain't got no assist. What's going on?
He don't need anyone.
He
There you
got
go.
an assist. All right, we're good.
There
Now
we
what
go.
happened as he put his 10th on the board. 10-2, 1 assist to go along with it. Cloud9 now starting to separate what once was a 2-kill game, now evolves into 5. And with all the control that Cloud9 have, it might get even worse.
Especially with Eco on this anchor position in top base. You see all of Spacestation Gaming trying to cross and take out the players in utility, but they're not able to because Eco just putting tons of damage across the board. As I say that though, 2 from Cloud9 go down.
Are they timing the dynamo grenades?
Yeah.
Eco's literally been on top of these dynamo grenades every single time. The moment they come up, Eco is there, making it rain. The audio cue, the damage, but Nugget finds himself a kill. The trade is in Eco. Blue giving up his position to make sure he prioritizes this kill, tapping the buttons, not ready for the flank. Ends up going down himself. Cloud9 keeping all of their members alive. And again, now still a 5-kill game. We're going into when it matters most.
That's right, 5-kill game. They're keeping it close. Eco with a beautiful heads-up play and some discipline. He's gonna get another kill there, but Spacestation Gaming doing a good job of not taking away too much. Look at this, Eco with a killing frenzy. He's matching tapping buttons from last game. He says, I'm better.
We handing out killing frenzies like some kind of Halo Oprah. You get a killing frenzy, you get a killing. Everyone gets a killing frenzy. As Eco's staying alive, might want to turn it to wide. The shots going in, so is the Plus. Able to put the one player onto skates, but Atzo cleans him up. And with the dominance that we were seeing out of Cloud9, why don't we hop into the comms? Why don't we find out where this coordination's coming from?
Shit.
Gonna thrust
Two
right
on
here.
bound. Nice shirt. Wow.
My P tunnel, one shot yellow P tunnel.
Looking,
Behind the blue window.
looking. He
I
didn't
can
come
look
out. He
front,
didn't
I'll
come
look
out.
front.
He's on my flag.
Yeah, I think he is.
Absolute on the commando. Right on you, Absolute.
You want Kevin to blue?
3 dead.
Nice. See, that's
Oscar,
what I'm
blue
talking
closet?
about.
All dead.
Nice.
Shit.
Blue thrust is up.
Blocking yellow flag.
I'm in blue
on
closet
blue,
with you.
maybe?
I'm in blue closet with you.
Yeah, blue.
Yo, shocks up in 5 seconds.
I'll go get from. I'll go from. Got another one.
I'm coming window at him.
Top car right now.
P2, 2 shot. Blue.
Two, one shot on me.
Two on Braden.
Looking
Yeah,
to your
both on
left.
the nades. Both on the nades.
He's going yellow fire. Oh, P1 yellow.
I'm pushing yellow.
The one thing I could always appreciate Cloud9's comms is it's never frantic. It's
Agreed.
simple, it's easy to understand, and there's nobody clogging it. Cloud9 able to dominate here. Now you're just 1 kill away. StelluR on screen, pushing up over towards the car side. Ain't nothing crazy about it, just good Halo. Dynamo grenades raining, and of course they have it on the timer, and of course SSG on the timer, and their time's up.
What's crazy to me is the fact that, like I said before, Frosty said Eco is the smartest player in the game. Tony, when you have the smartest player in the game, but they're also getting 19 kills in a Slayer, what do? Eco was on fire that match.
Go down 0-2. And you pray you don't go down 0-3. As of right now, Cloud9 are looking good, and they're exactly the team that we thought they were. It's not the fact that SSG are playing bad. In fact, I've been huge on tapping buttons so far, especially in that game number 1. SSG have been able to keep things close, even in the Slayer. But Cloud9, they're just levels above. Cloud9 are still a top 4 team in the league, and they're still in the conversation of winning. I can see a world where maybe Cloud9 pull off an upset on either Sentinels or Optic, who are the heavy favorites.
Yeah, I hate to go on my predictions because, maybe it kind of sways me in different ways, but I had Cloud9 as 3rd. I think on land, they're a way better team than they are online. They take these games very seriously. But honestly, what's the next map here? I want to take a look at the series layout to see if Spacestation Gaming could potentially come through with a chance here. CTF Catalyst is our game number 3. What are you thinking about this map?
I'm not sure about Catalyst as far as with Cloud9.
Okay.
Obviously, there's been teams that have been able to get big wins on them as far as the map, including that Slayer where G1 were able to beat them in that game number 5 in the North American Super. But I will say, as far as capture the flag team, I'm never betting against Cloud9 and CTF. You better be going against one of the big dogs. I'm going to bet against Cloud9. Objective efficiency, not a problem. Over-aggression, not a problem. Staying alive and playing for your brother in arms, not a problem. Cloud9 are the favorites going into this game number 3. SSG are in danger of getting swept.
Of course, we got to talk about the gentleman's agreement, right? The sword not being utilized here. The map plays very differently without that sword. It's not all about just running around the corner or maybe holding corners as well. It's more of a kind of a triple push on one side of the map. We'll see Cloud9 kind of utilize that, but again, the big thing for me is that OS in the middle of the map, being able to use the resources to get that OS and give yourself an advantage.
We'll talk about the sword another time, because I got a thing or two to say about the GA. But I will say, without the use of that sword, we've seen time and time again Catalyst get very skewer side heavy. You just have more resources. You have that skewer that sits over toward the top side of the base. You want to make sure you get a hold of it.
Right.
There's so much cover and so many angles that you can pull while you're playing alongside of that. And don't forget about the grapple. You go under the map, around the map. You can spend 80% of the game outside of the map if you use the grapple correctly.
Yeah, I think the grapple is very, very essential. But let's take a look here at Bound and Drift. Kind of a side-by-side. You see Bound, again, those really big shoes that he had to fill. And, you know, will he fill those shoes is kind of the big question here. Cloud9 being back-to-back champions so far, looking so good, right? They're up 2-0 in the series thus far. But what do you think about Drift? 27 assists. I mean, assists are your wheelhouse. You love getting assists.
I often will say that, in my opinion, assists are just as important as kills. In my thought process, your goal is to put your opponent 3 down and to capitalize off of those numbers.
Right.
Whether you get the kill or your teammate does, I don't care. Make sure that player goes down, make sure you both stay alive, and make sure you get aggressive off of those numbers.
Yeah, my big thing is the third stat there, damage. Like being able to output that damage. That damage to me is pressure. Pressure to me means objective time or objective caps. And that's what I think will get you those net victories. 60% of the game types in the HCS are objective ones. So putting that damage in to make sure you utilize the objective time is huge. Are you doing math, Tony?
Yeah.
Good? Oh, okay. I'll let you do. Do you want me to get your calculator?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here.
60%. I got it.
I knew you had it. I knew you had the whole time.
Obviously, Cloud9, the objective efficiency is going to be important.
Right.
And SSG are in danger of getting swept here. I mean, this could be a 3-0. This game can end right here, right now, but let's not wait any further. Let's go right into Catalyst CTF. Game number 3. Cloud9, your back-to-back LAN champions. Tell me a bit about Cloud9 specifically on Capture the Flag.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Advanced analytics say that Pznguin is one of the best objective players in the game. So I want to focus on him in this game. I want to see how he's able to convert caps, and that's going to be huge if they want to win.
Overshield towards the middle of the map. That's what both of these teams are going to be fighting for. We talked about how important that skewer is. We talked about how important how that grapple is. One thing I love about the grapple, it brings the overshield for you. This whole entire map is about controlling that middle portion, controlling the overshield. And the only way to do it at this point is to stack numbers. 4-man pushes, 3-1 splits. You really have to be keeping each other alive. Otherwise, you might as well be not getting the kills.
We've seen that grapple being utilized to move this flag quickly. You see how big the cross shots are. The angles on the cross from side to side on the base. That grapple's being utilized to pull the flag quicker across that map so you don't take all that damage and you can convert.
Spacestation Gaming already starting to gain a bit of control, but it looks like Eco follows up quickly. But Eco, he's on the menu. They said SSG are hungry. Barbecue is Eco.
It's crazy what it would mean if Spacestation Gaming were able to bring a championship to LATAM. Can they do it? They've got to surpass the mountain of Cloud9 first. A big double there, but even scoreline.
Bunch just accidentally drops a grenade, finds 2 cluster luck. Eco, though, comes right in with that aggression. Nugget's trying to run the flag. He thought he had an avenue, has to slow down, get himself the kill. Now defend the return, just too much for him to handle. Eventually, SSG gonna lose control of this cap. Cloud9 do a great job of just clearing them out of the base.
Yeah, and that's what's really good about Cloud9, right? Their efficiency when grabbing the flag. They grab the flags, and the conversion rate on those flag grabs is big. They're one of the best in the game at converting those flag grabs. So you're not gonna see them scrappy on flags. You're gonna see them set up and wait for a flag pull that is opportune for them.
Now we can see if Atzo and SSG can capitalize on those deaths. If you can have them 3 down, you gotta have the efficiency to be able to pull this flag and to run it home. That Drift, you gotta hit your shots too. Bound needs to go down. Sadly, Drift ends up doing the same. Bound comes right in, clears out the base. SSG had prime opportunity off of 1 more kill. They could have pulled that flag. Sadly, Bound and C9 simply make a run.
That's the big thing, right? You said 1 more kill is all they needed. Cloud9 are aware of that. They position perfectly to make sure they get the trades, and so they don't get their flag pulled, and they play some great defense.
Bound from Cloud9, able to get away with the skewer, lands a beautiful shot, but can't pop the overshield. That's going to be problematic. Pznguin gets himself in position. Eco giving up his life in order to grab it. Not sure if that overshield made it off of the map. We see Pznguin try to check it. He's wondering, where did this overshield go? Sadly, it must have, I don't know, phase through the map or something. That OS is gone.
The OS is gone, but we talked about how hard it is to have that OS at the very bottom of the map. The fact that you're not able to really just get it for free. You gotta use these resources like Pznguin is right here with the skewer.
Pznguin immediately going after the height with the skewer. He does see a pull coming from SSG, making it towards the sword side, tries to line one up, gets the second one. That's going to be a killing spree out of Pznguin. Not done yet. The two-man push, but hold on, there's a camper. Pznguin spots him out. There's going to be no swords for you today. Pznguin putting it down. Half the members of SSG hit the blast screen. Pznguin tries to stay alive, but C9 go 3 down.
Yeah, but Pznguin did a really good job there of even being down a shot and still being able to win that fight. Because of that, his teammates were 3 dead, but he was able to get, able to delay as much as he could, and that potentially will stop this flag from going in.
Bound, making his way through, making sure that sword side is cleared out. That flag isn't enough just to pull it. You have to make sure you create a lane and an avenue of handling. That's what Cloud9 are best at. Bound finds himself another kill. 2 one-shots, end up getting the double melee. Bound able to clear this out as that flag is on the move once again.
Bound is one of the most exciting players to watch. His movement, he's the movement king in Halo Infinite, and he was in Halo 5 as well. And you see the objective master I talked about. That's going to be Pznguin. Pulls a flag and watch his conversion rate as he tries to get this in.
3 down go Cloud9. Pznguin, it's his last opportunity to get this flag in. Almost able to get it, but a last-ditch effort. It's Atzo Uchiha pushing him in the Genjutsu and on skates and losing him as he pulls that flag forward. Eco luckily able to get away with the overshield. The question is, what happened with that flag? Was it returned? And is SSG running one of their own?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? SSG is on the counter cap situation now, and Eco had traded the overshield for that, but look, he's going to be able to play some defense now.
Flag might have not gone in, but the overshield does end up in the hands of Eco, and we do see a return in favor of Cloud9. They have to 2-man push it as SSG are now starting to come off a spawn. Eco lines up those shots. Atzo going down to 1, but Atzo's hitting his.
Atzo did great right there. He was able to delay. He stayed back, didn't push in. He knew 2 members of Cloud9 were there. Stayed back, got a kill, got 1 kill. His teammate Drift gets another. Beautiful job by SSG.
SSG are doing a great job of just staying in it mentally. They're down 0-2 against one of the best teams in the league, and SSG have not given up. Atzo has not given up. Tapping buttons has not given up, and SSG are getting aggressive.
I gotta talk about Nugget though, Tony. Look at him. He's keeping up with one of the best teams in the game, coming off as a coach. That to me is incredible. You're in a coaching position, but you sit down with your team and you're able to compete. That's great to me. 8-8 to start this game.
Nugget on screen, finds himself getting another kill, moving forward for the double. The flag is coming forward. Eco drops flag, makes sure he gets that kill, but you gotta count for tapping buttons. He's still on the map and he's still pushing forward. If Cloud9 are gonna put this flag in, they got to deal with tapping buttons.
Yeah, he's got 3 members to deal with, though. Bound is going to push in really aggressively. He's going to turn his back. StelluR has to win this 1v1, and he does, and that's what makes Cloud9 so very good. But you still got 4 members of SSG to deal with here.
Drift lining up shots, trying to stop Eco from punching that flag in, but it wasn't going to be enough. A 1-0 lead in favor of Cloud9. Just 6 minutes left in regulation. SSG are on the clock. They have to cap at least 1 flag. You got to tie things up.
It's going to be huge. I think SSG needs this OS, but they're not going to get it. Pznguin, once again, that's Cloud9's 3rd overshield in this game. That's really what sets them apart from SSG. These overshields are pivotal when you're trying to get those flag caps and those flag grabs.
Pznguin having the overshield to work with is his job to create opportunity for Cloud9 to go through. Opportunities never given. It is deserved. It is earned. And Pznguin's already in the base of SSG. The shots ring out. Drift is going to go down. So do 3 members of SSG. And it looks like that flag is already on the move. Cloud9, objective efficiency, check. Aggression, check. Pznguin, check.
Winning, check. They're doing it all at this point, Tony. Pznguin, we talked about his objective efficiency. Like you just said, Atzo's the only player to deal with, takes care of him pretty easy. And that's going to be another flag cap on the board for Cloud9. They're looking to close this out right now.
2-0 lead for Cloud9, same as the game as the series here. Bound controlling the skewer side of the map. It's a beautiful kill and assist out of them. Cloud9 now going to be able to advance forward. SSG coming off a spawn. They have to clear C9 out. You can't allow C9 to consistently be in your base.
Bound. The grid push by him, but he gets traded out. Atzo gets a double. That's 2 down. Now they've got to capitalize on this. Cloud9's going to get that back flag spawn, but they've got a StelluR to deal with. They deal with him. This is good from SSG, but they've got to get another round of Slays.
That's when SSG are pushing up. They're in the base of Cloud9. They're in the lion's den, and you get eaten up. 3 down goes C9. Bound able to go down as well. So SSG, they find the kills they're looking for. They need to capitalize. They need to pull the flag, but so far, no one in position. They've dedicated all their resources towards the kills. Nobody was ready for the flag.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. They get the Slays. They weren't in position to pull, and Cloud9 got another favorable spawn on their side of the map. And because of that, 3 go down once again for Cloud9, but SSG not able to convert on any flag caps.
Gotta convert. It's not just about the Slays, it's what you do with it. We've said it time and time again.
Right.
When Cloud9 get those kills, when they get those pulls, those flags go in. It's not about quantity, it's really about quality at this point. Nugget trying to get into the base of Cloud9, finds himself a kill, but the nades are starting to come. Tries to post one back, doesn't have a second one to use. So Cloud9 once again, SSG, get into the base, Cloud9, send them packing.
Yeah, at this point, Cloud9 is just playing a lot of defense, right? They're up 2-0, there's 3 minutes remaining. They can play on that 50% portion of the map, control the power weapons and power-ups, and potentially win this game off of time.
Resources are key. Cloud9 are well aware of it. Like you said, they're just playing defense. They're playing the time at this point. There's still 3 minutes. There's enough time for SSG to make a play. And hold on, Slay's going in favor of them. StelluR running that flag forward. Spacestation Gaming not to turn their attention towards StelluR. And even though they're able to get the kill, it's still forcing SSG to slow down and buying time for Cloud9 to come off a spawn.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're coming off a spawn and pressuring once again. They're not letting go of the pressure, and that's what's making it really hard for SSG to get out of their base at this point. I thought they were playing defense. I'm completely wrong. Bound is playing offense. A triple kill comes out of him. He's 24 and 18.
4 down go SSG. Another flag now being run by Bound and Cloud9 as it quickly approaches the 50% portion. SSG now going to be forced to rotate right off a spawn. Bound not slowing down for anything. Multiple members of SSG are trying to get in position, but Cloud9 are building a wall, and because of that, Bound doesn't even get touched.
Not once. Not shot once on that flag run, and that's what makes Cloud9 so good. We talked about it before. They don't pull scrappy. They pull calculated, and they did that just now.
Another 4 down for SSG. And now becomes a question of, is it possibility or is it probability? Is it possible for SSG to get in the game? Yes. Is it probable? No. We have less than 2 minutes on the clock. You're talking about less than a minute per flag cap, and not to change the subject, but you're going against Cloud9. I'm not just talking about a minute per, I'm not talking about a flag cap per minute. I'm talking about doing it against one of the best teams in the world.
And individually, they've got to do it versus Bound. 27 and 18. The question was, can he fill the shoes? He's filling them real good right here. It's great to see him comfortable on the LAN environment. And you see Pznguin, the objective mastermind, gonna put in their 4th cap.
Nobody in position for SSG. It's getting bad. They're now talking about a 4-0 lead. Not only do Cloud9 only have a minute and 16 seconds worth of defense that they can play, they're 1 cap away from taking the game. Forget the game, taking the series.
Unfortunately, the series on the line here for SSG, and they're already having a rough go about it in their pools, but now this makes it even worse. Atzo, the man on your screen, 55 seconds left. I mean, when you're looking at this team in SSG, I talked to Coach Nugget, and he said that their problem was they have never gone to a major with a full roster. That makes it really difficult, Tony, to be able to build chemistry and bring that to an event.
It's really tough. Spacestation Gaming, they're obviously a solid squad. Again, forget solid, a great squad.
Right.
One of the best teams, if not the best, out of Latin America. And so far, Cloud9 have simply had their number. And now the question becomes, if you had Pelu, would this be the same level of dominance? Would it be a 1-2 game, maybe having new life? As of right now, Cloud9, they're just 15 seconds away from coming out on top. Bound ends up getting himself an assist. Cloud9 are pushing forward. At this point, it's just icing on the cake. Cloud9 will be taking it.
Said that Cloud9 had their number. How do I get their number? I think they need a coach. I can hop up there and show some, bring some of my knowledge of, almost 2 decades of Halo. But unfortunately, there it is. Cloud9, 3-0 against SSG, looking strong as ever. And it's what we expected, right? Cloud9 plus LAN equals greatness.
Cloud9 They are who we thought they were, pulling off the sweep, even against Spacestation Gaming, coming out really well in their pools. They're one of the favorites to make it through. Uniter is sitting there, but as of right now, I think with that win, Cloud9 should be guaranteed to make it into Worlds. Again, don't forget, guys, top 2 in every pool qualifies for the World Championship.
And that's why every single match matters, and that's why these teams, they're brought their absolute best. We've got a lot of action to watch here today, but a great series. I mean, SSG definitely struggled versus Cloud9, but they've definitely got a lot of potential. And maybe with this addition of Nugget, their coach on their roster, that chemistry can build throughout this weekend.
Obviously, Cloud9 were able to get the win. I'm not questioning this.
Right.
But I will say there's one thing that I learned, or was reminded of, I should say.
Yeah.
Tapping buttons,
oh,
that man's a bad man.
Oh, man.
He's dangerous. He's the real deal.
Absolutely.
When you have a shock rifle in tapping buttons hands, this man connects. And the same with the sniper rifle. I'm just saying, if you're going up against SSG in Recharge or live fire, you're going to have a really tough time. SSG are not out of it, and it's not going to be the last time we see them on the mainstream.